Today we set aside a time to bless our creature companions. I think back with love on all the non-human companions who have graced my life. Birds and fish and turtles, cats and dogs. My brother had a white mouse that got out of his cage and lived very happily for a while in a cereal box in the cabinet until our mother discovered and evicted him. And at that point, he could go back in his cage because he was now too fat to get between the bars. This is a day to honor all our lives and to remember that our human lives are intertwined with all other lives that exist alongside our own. The word companion means one with whom we share bread, with whom we share the essentials of life. Not only our food, but the path we travel through the world and our emotional connections, the ups and downs in our lives. Our companions accompany us through life, weaving a web of connection that expands our loving circle, that buffers us from the ups and downs we may experience, sharing our bread, our air and water, our sustenance in the world. We have human companions, and we have companions who are often just as dear, just as companionable, who do not happen to be of our same species. To be a companion is to belong to each other, to be in a relationship of mutuality, give and take, back and forth. The fox in Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's book, The Little Prince, describes for the prince what it means to be a true companion, which he calls taming. To tame, explains the fox, means to establish ties. For example, says the fox to the prince, you are nothing more than a little boy who is just like 100,000 other little boys, and I have no need of you, and you on your part have no need of me. To you I am nothing more than a fox, like 100,000 other foxes. But if you tame me, then we shall need each other. For me, you will be unique in all the world. To you, I shall be unique in all the world. If you tame me, it will be as if the sun came to shine on my life. I shall know the sound of a step that will be different from all the others. One only understands the things that one tames, said the fox. People have no more time to understand anything. They buy things already made in the shops, but there is no shop anywhere where one can buy friendship. And so people have no friends anymore. If you want a friend, tame me. End quote. Our companions are those we have tamed and those who have tamed us, establishing ties, coming into relationship so that we know each other as distinct individuals. A fox, a person, a cat or dog or pony like no other, so that we understand each other in all our uniqueness and complexity. Our human history of inviting those of other species to share our lives dates back at least 12,000 years, and it began with dogs, which probably means it began with wolves, the ancestors of today's dogs. Humans and wolves organize our families in very similar ways, creating family groups that work together and that care for the young, so that for wolves and humans, adapting to each other's lives was probably simpler than for other species. And it is certainly clear how wolves and humans could help each other in hunting, in caring for other animals, and protecting the home and family, and simply in being companions. The evidence from archaeology tells us that our domestic lives grew to include sheep and goats, cattle and oxen, long before we brought cats into the circle. Cats became our animal companions only about 3,000 years ago, and for anyone that shares their life with a cat, the reasons are probably pretty clear. They remain quite independent. Even when they curl up on our couches and stalk our kitchen counters, they do it on their own terms. We are learning more and more all the time about the uniqueness and complexity of the non-human beings who comprise us in the world and who companion us in the world. We used to doubt the intelligence of other species. We were told that humans were unique and superior, and we now know Not only that non-human animals use tools, such as the otter who uses a rock to break open a meal of shellfish, but that a crow will spontaneously bend a wire into the right shape to pick up a treat at the bottom of a bottle, or drop stones into a glass of water to bring the water level up for drinking. That's a really complex thought process. Hyenas plan their hunting parties based on the sort of game they plan to pursue, walking right past the prey animals that don't fit into their hunting mode of the day. There are parrots who know and appropriately use over 50 human words, and apes who know and use over 350 words to construct sentences, ask questions, and convey concepts such as past and future, fast and slow. Non-human animals clearly have emotional lives. Elephants and apes mourn their dead. Capuchin monkeys share scarce food with their partner monkeys. Dogs give up their lives to rescue others. The creatures that share our world can sometimes offer more emotional and physical support and healing than other humans. Dogs, horses, alpacas, and other animals have come to play key roles in helping troubled teens who deepen their relationships, skills, responsibility, values, and behavior. Soldiers who return from war with physical and emotional scars from the violence of the battlefield, who have difficulty adjusting to the normal world when they come home, find healing in the love and support of a dog who is specially trained to respond to their emotional needs. Support and therapy animals have become a regular fixture of long-term care and nursing homes, reducing the isolation and loneliness so often present in these institutions. The many ways we are companioned by those of other species raises a central question. What does it mean to be human? For centuries, both science and religion promoted the idea that humans were unique, specially created in a divine image, given dominion over all other creatures and every other aspect of the earth, and the only creatures that had an eternal aspect, the soul, that would go on to eternal life. Now, I don't have many clear answers about the soul, and I don't have any way to know whether there's an eternal life on the other side of death, but my own sense of what it means to be human is that in our life, in this world, we are bound up in the interdependent web of all existence, as are all other creatures, including those bacteria and insects that so vastly outnumber us. For me, the divine is that spark of life that we share with all existence, the wonder of being part of this incomprehensible universe. The wonder for me is that as humans, we are not that as humans we are unique, but rather that we are simply one part of it all, and it is all a part of us. We are often reminded that our human bodies, indeed the constituents of all bodies, of all living things on this planet, were created in the life cycles of the universe, the life cycles of the stars, in the Big Bang, in the formation of the galaxies, in the blast of every nova and supernova, hydrogen and helium, oxygen and carbon, the iron in our blood, the calcium of our bones, the elements of our being were created in heat and light, collision and fusion. We are made of stardust, and we are an integral part of a living stardust universe. We all, the humans on the earth and all the other creatures with whom we are companions, are connected as part of the universe, part of each other, sharing history, biology, and destiny. We go forward together, creating and healing our lives, supporting and caring for each other. We can be the truest companions to each other, whatever the nature of our skin covering, hair or fur, feathers or scales, whatever the nature of our mind, whatever the sound of our voice, whatever our eternal destiny. We share our sustenance, we share our experience, we share the path as we make our way through the universe. So may it be.